Today, I accepted an offer for a position that really is kind of almost pretty much what I was looking for.
So tell me how it happened, and I want to know the job title also.
So it's a general manager, just managing just construction crews building out network infrastructure, kind of in their particular area is in the South. Well, I mean, the country itself is nationwide, but for this particular area, it's in the South, like Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina.
Now, take me back to the beginning of the story. How did the opportunity come about? Did you find them? Did they find you? What were the steps that happened towards the beginning of all this?
So I found opportunities for that company. I knew of the company and I had seen some positions for them and I applied, I think maybe applied for one or two positions at the company. They just emailed me, say, hey, I think it was a Thursday. Hey, are you available to talk tomorrow? I was like, okay, sure. I thought it was just like a pretty informal conversation because that's all it was. He was like, hey, you want to talk? So, okay. So gave me a call that Friday morning, which I guess maybe 2 Fridays ago. Um, Talked at a real good kind of long talk. I mean, it was actually more interview-ish uh, than a casual call. So I was like, all right. So talked to him for, I was probably went, I don't know, maybe about 40, 45 minutes or so. Said, all right, I'm going to have my recruiter reach out to you and have you talk to her for a bit. So I said, okay. So set up that for the following Monday. So had that conversation on Monday, and that was again pretty good interview. So she was like, "All right, sounds good. I like you. I'm gonna set up a meeting with kind of a panel so they can talk to you." So set that up. So that was first one's on Friday, next one's on Monday. They set up for the following Monday. And I didn't know exactly what that was going to be because on the invite it had her and the previous guy that I talked to. She was the recruiter. The first guy was the VP of kind of construction. All right. So then the following, it was just all right. So on the invite it had them two on it. So I was like, well, why would I have another interview with the two of them again? So, but anyway, and it was like a third person. Not the two of them. It was just another person. So talk with him and about kind of the job. And that's another thing. It wasn't a specific job that they were talking about. They just talked about a whole bunch of different jobs down in Carolina. They were like, "Yep, we're looking for people in Charleston and here and Columbia, Georgia, and oh, okay." I was like, "Yeah, all those sound good."
How do you feel about the steps that you were able to go through and their effectiveness?
I think well, first, I think kind of the first step is kind of that updated resume. I think that's kind of the first thing is really looking at that and making that really tell the story of you. And I think you did a good job of that. I'd say after that is really kind of being methodical and kind of going through. It's like, all right, yep, you to be able to say, all right, yep, let's go and let's find these places that you want to work in. And I think finding places lead to kind of other places.
Is there something that I said or a tool that I gave you that even made those hurdles easier?
I think like your templates to say, all right, reach out to people. The last thing that you sent me with the list of all those the recruiters and all those areas for those different jobs, I thought that was very helpful.
Even though you've now ended the process, probably halfway through, the steps you did do they work? Do they not work? What's your opinion? And what's your opinion about how well they worked for you?
I think the steps work. I think sticking to what you say, I think does work. I think your principles and kind of how you have it structured, I think does work. I think that gets you to those people, gets those people to you and makes those connections and kind of gives you those opportunities. I guess your opportunities or your chances are doubled, if not more than doubled, by following those processes versus just going on LinkedIn every day and say, all right, yep, I'm applying for this one, and this one.